Put you guys in the promo this week, and here goes. Oh, all right, cutting Flagler live out of it, and then I listen to it and I go, "Holy crap! I cut Brian out too." So
it's all right.
But here they are, Annamaria Long.
Probably won't have too many people listening. Then is that what you're thinking?
Right,
Because I wasn't mentioned.
Yeah, I know. It's like, what happened to Brian? The phone's been ringing off the hook.
Right.
You've been replaced.
Anyway, Annamaria Long, who is our executive officer for the Flagler Home Builders Association, also co-host of Real Estate Matters with Toby Tobin. And you do a lot of good things in the community, including trying to sue the city of Palm Coast with your impact fee. We're going to talk about that a little bit. Excessive, by the way, impact fee is the reason why. Not that you don't want to raise impact fees, but people simplify things. Eddie Lang, who's usually one of our co-hosts of the auction. What are you doing here today, Eddie?
I'm here as a realtor.
Okay, all right. Well, I know Serenity Realty is yours, and you're very active with the home builders and the...
Yeah, I'm actually a member of both associations. So.
That's why we stuck you in the middle of us.
Yeah, and running for vice president.
Yep, running for vice president of FCAR.
So the board of realtors, they vote?
Yes, they do. So, we have 1,600 members. I mean, not all of them vote, but they should vote.
So if they like you, you get in. If they don't like you, you don't.
Yep, exactly.
So you're campaigning here
like
today.
Anything.
No campaigning. I'm just mentioning it.
All right, well, let's introduce. I'll let you introduce the president.
So so when
FCAR.
when I was invited, I thought, why not? Let's invite our association president, because I can't answer anything based on the association but she can. So here she is, Michelle McKinney.
Thanks for that.
Okay, well, that was your introduction?
That was my introduction.
So she gets blamed is really what you're thinking, right?
It's a fun spot to be in.
All right.
I think we call that an alibi.
Perhaps.
Eddie, I think you can let's do a real introduction for Michelle here. Okay? All right, so ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen, Michelle McKinney, our president and leader of Flagler County Association of Realtors.
I got applause.
Okay. And she's not running. Are you running for re-election or for the FCAR?
No, I've been involved with the board for the past 5 years. I'm going to take a little bit of a break. I still have obligations as past president, but.
All right. So how long you been a realtor?
Almost 10 years, actually.
Is that what you've done your whole life?
No.
What'd you do before that?
A lot. A lot of different stuff. Mostly working in marketing and sales in the restaurant industry.
Oh, okay. All right. And so what made you switch to being in real estate?
Oddly enough, my husband was an active duty service member with the Navy, and we moved from Florida to Virginia. And when we moved up there was not another company that I worked for to transfer to. So I had been told by several different people over the course of about 6 to 7 years, you should really do real estate. You'd be really good at it. You should look into doing real estate. You'd be really good at it. Moved up there, and I thought, well, I guess now's the time to see if I really would be good at it. So I jumped in, and it's all she wrote.
Well, you must be good at it, and you must like it, because most people don't like what they're not good at.
I love it. It's got its ups and downs, just like a lot of other things.
Yeah.
But
is it tough being a realtor today? I talked to some, and they're going like, "Oh my God," and then others are going, "Well, it's slower, but I sold one last week or whatever." So what's the overall economy of realtors here, Eddie?
I mean, realistically, because everybody, I go to a lot of the city council meetings and I hear, "Oh, we're crashing. We're not crashing. There's nothing crashing about anything. We're just we're a balanced market, just about a buyer's market. We have plenty of inventory. I mean, buyers get to pick and choose what they want at this point. But I have, just for example, I have a lead service that I haven't received a lead in almost a year, and all of a sudden now I'm getting 2-3 calls a week. So people are actively looking at homes. I mean, that's just one service that I use. I mean, I wasn't getting no calls all year, and then all of a sudden now 2-3 times a week I'm getting alerts. Hey, got a lead. So things are happening.
What's our inventory like in Flagler County? Michelle, let me ask you that one there from the Board of Realtors. You must keep up with those. What's our inventory like on available homes for sale, people wanting to sell?
Well, we have about 6.4 months of inventory on the market.
Which means what?
Which means that we're entering into a little bit more of a buyer's market. They've got more options to choose from, more negotiation room, because we do have that many homes on the market. So it's still a little balanced. It's just barely tipping over into what is considered a buyer's market.
What's a mark that would say it was a seller's market?
Anything like 3 months and less on the market. Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, we have 1,358 homes available in Flagler County as of last night, and that's single family.
Yeah.
So in comparison, we have 312 new builds, but not all new builds are in the MLS. So as of right now, 312 builds in the MLS are all brand new homes, 2025. So
Does this
That's
include
included in the 1,300?
that's included in the 1,300. Yes.
And then the MLS does not capture almost all of the custom builds.
Correct.
No, the custom, because if not in the MLS, we don't see them. So I mean, so there's custom builds out there, like on the beach,
Like
or,
your super high end typically.
yes, intercoastal builder, different builders like that build their own.
So what about like a Sawmill Creek and developments like that? Are those included in available inventory?
They are all included because it's all. I mean, that's all Flagler County. So I mean that 1,300 number, and then just in the PC. So just for comparison, in Palm Coast alone, 1,139. So most of them are in Palm Coast. Yeah.
All right, so it's a buyer's market, kind of.
Yeah, we're getting
so which means it's not a good time to sell your house if you don't have to, right?
Not necessarily.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm not going to say that
the
either. 'Cause
price
I
is
have some listings
holding.
that I need to
Yeah.
sell.
Well, the price is holding. That's the kind of remarkable thing that, Toby and I have been looking at. The medians at 385, I believe we
388.
reported.
358. 358 now. 358 is the median
358.
price as of August. The prices are holding.
We track it weekly, so I guess it can
Okay, so
average.
it-
If you're
average.
looking at month, yeah.
If it's Toby, it's 0.35.
This is true. This is true.
But the market's holding. I mean, it's, you're not, a lot of the people that want to go list, I mean, look, a good time to buy and sell is when you have to buy and sell. It's simple. There is, if you have to buy, you have to buy. If you have to sell, you have to sell. So there's no necessarily good time to buy and sell. It's when you have to buy and sell. So, but pricing it right, and that's why using a professional realtor and taking care of the comps and looking at the numbers, and you price it correctly. I mean, we're done with the COVID days though. COVID days, where people were banging down the doors and putting multiple offers in, that's not happening. Not in this area. But see, the problem is people see national numbers, and national numbers we can't necessarily use them. So, for instance,
Hyper-local.
yeah, I have a buyer that just bought a house from me here, and they listed a house in Long Island. She said she had to sell to buy. She sold it in 2 days, over ask. And that was in Long Island. Now, people here, people are leaving New York. Well, obviously they're not, because she got over ask on her house in 2 days. Now, we're not getting houses sold in 2 days. So,
Well, even though we had an inflation and we had a big grab for houses during COVID because our inventory wasn't high, we still didn't have the severe inflation that other areas, even within Florida, had, which means
Yeah,
that
correct.
our drop isn't as significant.
correct.
Even
Yeah.
as much as like the Jacksonville market, Orlando market, even ones really close to us, our numbers just didn't rise and fall so hard, which is
and
good
that's-
for us.
That's what made Flagler County so enticing to a lot of folks that moved here from out of the area, because you could get what you wanted at a better price in Flagler County than you could pretty much anywhere else on
Right.
the coastline in Florida.
And we have Veranda Bay, which is the last
Yes.
bit of intracoastal. So
Yeah.
that's going to be, for people who are in that market, it's going to be
I did take a tour.
Really
Those are
special.
some nice houses out there. I mean,
Beautiful houses.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and
really.
it's really good that they have, two parts to that community, which is the higher end homes, and then they have the more mid-range homes.
So you guys can, this is not exclusive, can local realtors sell homes at Veranda Bay?
Yes.
Yes, I actually have a listing on the Intercoastal available if anyone is interested.
Call Michelle McKinney now. Hurry. This is why it lasts. Okay.
Just saying.
Truly, while it lasts. Yeah.
Best
Because
price,
the lots are
best
sold
price
up.
in there right now.
We're going to talk about, the building and people's perception that it's uncontrolled. Everybody's in the pockets of the developers, those greedy people, and all that kind of thing. But a lot of people just think, well, it's everybody from up north coming down here, those damn Yankees coming down, and even though they're one themselves, if they were honest about it. But I've heard a lot of people are actually coming from the south here to Flagler County. Any
Yeah.
truth
Yes.
to that?
Yes.
Getting out of the concrete jungle of Miami, Fort Lauderdale, they're tired of the traffic, and they're coming this way.
Yep.
Yes, they're coming. They don't want to leave Florida, but they don't want to be in Fort Lauderdale, Miami. Want to be close. Palm Coast is unique to where we're close to everything. I mean, people don't realize it because when you sit at these city council and commissioners, we're overcrowded. Most of these people that are complaining only got here 5 or 10 years ago anyway. So what are you complaining about? You're part of those people that came into this area and it was beautiful, and other people also love it. They doored it and closed when they bought their house. So that's why it gets frustrating to, are we growing? Yes. I live here too. I'm part of this community, but ultimately we're going to grow, and smart growth is important. I mean, I agree with that, but we're going to grow. You're not going to stop people. You're not closing the door on people moving to Palm Coast.
I got to bring up. Actually, I was listening to your show, Annamaria Long. Well, it's Toby's show, and you're the co-host, I guess. But anyway, he put out. Have you seen this map that he did on?
I had early access to it.
Oh, Flagler County Residential Development Map. It's online. And,
yes. Go Toby.com. It is really cool and really has a ton of information.
Okay, well, here, because I also posted it on WNZF Facebook page, the promo for the show we
awesome.
did. So tell us what it is, because it's a living, breathing map, right? Okay, so Annamaria, take it away. Explain, what is the Flagler County Residential Development Map?
So it's a Google map, essentially, and it's got all the different layers, and you can use that map to sort into which type of development you're looking for. So it's a great tool for anyone. I would say it's especially great for realtors, but it's also good for a curious member of our community, because you're driving through and you see a sign for the Del Webb community and you go, what in the heck is that? What is coming to my corner? And you can go in there and you can type in Del Webb, and it's going to tell you what is on everything about Del Webb, how many units it's entitled to, and what even the history of it in some cases. As much information as Toby's had about that unit or about that development, it will tell you. You can also sort out the developments by 55 and up or 62 and up, by active developments, which would be something that is currently being built, by the ones that are essentially done. Maybe they have a few lots left, maybe they don't, and they're only just going to be resale. And also by ones that are entitled and where they are in the development process. And so as things get added, as things get changed, those will, as you said, it's a living document essentially. Those will get updated. So it'd be something you want to bookmark so that you can go back and refresh it and see what's changed.
Brian,
when you combining those two parts so far that we've been talking about, you're saying that there's 1,300 homes or so, 6.4 months of inventory. Do the builders who have entitlements, does that tell them like, oh, well, let's wait another year before we build them because we've already got this inventory? Or do they think, or is it really too unpredictable and like it's going to take a year to build these homes anyway, so they just do it based on their plan that they've always had? I mean, I know sometimes they must pull the plug on things because we've got a lot of homes that are there's 19,000 homes out there that could be built but haven't yet, and some of them for 20 years or more. A lot of them actually. But so how much does the market conditions determine whether they build now or not? Significantly.
Yeah, the last thing a developer wants is to build an entire community and have it sitting there unpurchased, and the houses will literally rot. So they don't want that. So they are watching market conditions, the sales, and the amount of inventory that's available to make sure that their houses are going to sell. So yeah, it is more multifaceted than that, of course.
Yeah.
But especially with the larger builders, and they're looking at multiple sales areas, and we're a small sales area for someone who builds in Jacksonville and Orlando and other large MSAs across the country. But there are several business decisions, but absolutely the inventory goes into that.
So one thing that I hear sometimes in the community or on Facebook comments or things like that is like, the city council or the county or whoever just approved X number of homes. Why would they do that when we already have so many that are out there that are not being sold? And using that kind of data, there's 1,300 homes that aren't being sold. How could they approve more to be built? What's the logic behind that? What's the response to that?
Well, there's two parts to that. So property rights, number one. If you own the property, you have the rights to build to it, so long as you're following the codes that are in place. Second, just because they're approved does not mean they're coming today. And if you go to this interactive map, you'll see when some of these entitlements came in. One fun fact that I learned yesterday was the Grand Landings was originally going to be a fly-in community, which makes the name make so much sense. I know. I was like, duh.
Which I actually, and I learned that from Toby because Annamaria pointed at that site, and I took a look at it after it came out, and I saw that too. It was supposed to have an airstrip. It was supposed to have a tennis center,
11
and a stadium.
courts. Yeah,
it was supposed to be this big to do, and chances are it's probably not going to happen at this point.
I would go with no.
So.
And because some of it got split up, and it tells you the history of that right in this map. So it's really interesting, and it's entitled for different things. The Del Webb community, for example, what will become the Del Webb community was supposed to be, I don't know, like 4 times as much as it was supposed to be. So they're not coming tomorrow when they get approved. They have the right to build, the right to be approved for. Just because someone's getting the entitlement, then they might get the entitlement and just want to have it, and then they'll resell it in the future. A lot of these developments have passed hands multiple times. So,
what
it's
about
just a step in the process.
Also, I would think with tariffs and things like that, that a builder has to anticipate what their costs are going to be.
Yeah.
And if they're high now and they think, hey, maybe in the next year they'll come down or go up.
Yeah, that's another part of it. So with the National Association of Home Builders, they're anticipating at this point that tariffs are adding $10,000 to the cost of a house. And then we have like energy legislation that adds another significant amount to the cost of the house. Regulatory fees alone add over $100,000 to the cost of the house.
You get up there. I love it when you go up to the city council meeting and you're so nice, Annamaria, and you get up there and you you deliver
is that
your
sarcastic
thing.
or no?
I can't tell. Well, I was going to say sometimes your delivery is sarcastic to the.
Yes.
I think Annamaria is the queen of sarcasm.
I know.
It's like she invented it.
That.
I mean,
she can insult you with a smile. And
I
you're
know.
Like, hey, did I just get a punch or what here? Anyway.
Thank you so much.
That's a compliment.
I know. Thank you. I take it as one.
See, I understand your humor too. Okay. So the impact fee thing right now, the pending lawsuit, hasn't actually been filed because they have time to respond to your accusations, right? So update everybody on that, about the impact fees and where the home builders stand and why you think it's unfair.
So what I can say today is that we stand at the same place that we were in terms of our belief that the impact fee ordinances are in violation of 2 sections of SB 180, which are sections 18 and 28. But more importantly, because we know that SB 180 it's in the news. Everyone's talking about it. Everyone's got opinions on it, and that's okay. But regardless of where that falls, the Florida Impact Fee Act, that's been around. That is a document that's not going to change much. And the impact fees are in great violation of that. I don't place the blame exclusively on city council. The impact fee consultants did a terrible job. They misled the city council and they gave them poor advice. They did literally bad middle school math in one of the fee studies that I caught, and I was like, my 5th grader could do this and you did not. So it's just all around incorrect. And like we've stated through the entire process, go to the max 50%. We're totally fine with that. It's the legal max. We are asking, I think, for the same thing that all of Palm Coast residents are continually asking for this from the city of Palm Coast, which is transparency, accountability, following the law, and honesty. And I don't think that's too much to ask.
Okay. All right. So they have so much time, because we had Teresa Pontieri on here and asked her about it, and she was like, looking at it, and they said they have so much time to get back to you with some kind of response. Have they gotten back to you yet?
I can't comment on anything that's ongoing.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
I thought we just did. Anyway, hey, we got to take a break. We got to be back here. And we're going to go out on the streets and talk to a mystery realtor that is out there and find out what is happening on that. Anyway, Free for All Friday, we have got Annamaria Long with the Flagler Home Builders. We've got Eddie Lang. He's a realtor, an activist for real estate and good things. And also the president of FCAR, Michelle McKinney. We'll be right back after this.
So you're going to be buying some paint? Come and buy it from us. We're having a 20% off sale on all Benjamin Moore premium paints.
Benjamin Moore,
Hurry in, sale ends September 30th.
corner of Old Kings and Utility Drive.
Palm Coast.
Locals know where locals go.
NFL football is back and it's at Johnny D's. Every single game. Happy hour 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. every day and $4 shot specials on game days.
Johnny D's Beach Bar and Grill. We're waiting for you.
This is attorney Michael Politis. You pay your bills. You pay for your insurance every month, year after year. And then one day, bam, you're in an accident. After all that loyalty and all those payments, does the insurance company want to pay you when you finally need them? No. They're happy to take your money, but never want to pay when they should. Don't trust an insurance adjuster to do right by you. They work for the company, and their job is to save money, not spend it. I want to work for you. Who should you trust? Politis and Matavina, the Justice Attorneys. Offices Palm Coast, Ormond Beach, Port Orange, and Orange City.
Tired of waiting for your home to sell? Evolve Property Group is not your average real estate company, specializing in property management and real estate investors, navigating complex sales transactions, short sales, foreclosures, managing tenants, rent collection, even evictions. Visit evolvepg.co. evolvepg.co.
9:30, Free for All Friday, and it is, and this is September 12th, 2025, and all the podcasts and broadcasts and YouTube, and you can watch it and see what Michelle looks like, and Eddie, and Annamaria. Everybody knows you, and from a lot of things. You can listen to Annamaria.
A lot of things.
Long co-host of Go Toby's Real Estate Matters, which is Saturdays at 11 o'clock.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. Anyway, you do a great job with that. It's very informative. Do the realtors listen to Go Toby and get the scuttlebutt and find out from his perspective, or they don't care?
I listen to Go Toby every weekend.
I was going to say, I would love to think that all of the realtors listen to it, but you know.
I listen to him every weekend.
All right.
I know you do.
I listen to him every weekend.
I get commentary off from Eddie every Tuesday.
Okay.
I get my feedback.
All right. Awesome. Anyway, we're going to go out onto the streets now. We have a mystery. We have lined up here, right?
Correct.
Okay, here we go. Candy, by the way, thank you, is engineering. Mark is off to Lake Tahoe for a wedding. Not his. He's already married. But anyway, so you said it's like really cold out there now.
Yes, it's going to be 38 degrees, at least at night.
See, Mark's a Florida boy, so he'll like that. All right, here we go. Out onto the street. We want to know what's going on in real estate, and more like upper end ones, but from lighthouse to lighthouse, she covers it. Who is this? Go ahead. Reveal yourself. Hello. Up. Hold on. We got to push a button there. All right.
From lighthouse to lighthouse.
Yeah.
I know who it is.
All right. Tell us who you are.
Hi, this is Memory Hopkins, a name you can't forget. My team and I sell lighthouse to lighthouse, St. Augustine to New Smyrna Beach.
Okay, that was pretty good. Are you live, or was that a recording?
I know that. I'm live. It's not even Memorex, it's Memory.
All right, Memory. Hey, well, first of all, why are you on? Well, number one, you sponsor the show. I thought, well, holy crap, we've got Eddie on. We've got to have Memory on here because you're a sponsor for a while, and we appreciate that. But also, I've run into you in St. Augustine. You're all over. You're regional.
She's lighthouse to lighthouse.
Yeah.
Yes, I am. I really am.
From San Sebastian to St. Augustine, right? It's kind of
south, like Jacksonville to Greater Daytona, New Smyrna, DeLand, Northeast Florida.
All right, so what's going on with the rich people buying the $1 million plus houses? I know you work a lot of those, and so how's that market doing?
Well, I think that's doing well. We still get a lot of people coming here from other states, and many times those are the ones buying those properties, and they're cashing out where they are, and they're coming here and paying cash. So those are very nice sales, for sure. And they are typically unique in that they're on the ocean or the intracoastal, something different about them that would draw people into that kind of a price point.
Is are those on MLS? Those high-end houses where people?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yes, they're there. And I belong to 4 different MLSs to cover this territory. There's Greater Jacksonville, Daytona, St. Augustine. Of course, Palm Coast is part of Stellar. If you're a realtor, you know that. And Stellar MLS is the 3rd largest in the country. So we can give our sellers a lot of exposure.
So how do they find you? So if they're like, I'm up in New York or whatever, and how does a realtor get found? I mean, how do they, we have 1,600 of them here in Flagler County. Is that right, Ed?
Well, there's 10,000 in Northeast Florida. So probably North Florida has 20,000 realtors.
All right, so if I'm going to...
Which is crazy.
So if I'm going to sell my mansion on Long Island and I'm done with it and I'm moving to St. Augustine, Palm Coast, whatever it is, how do they find you?
They're finding us on Zillow. They're finding us on Realtor.com, Homes.com. So there's a lot of big real estate sites that they can put in a search of the type of property they would like, and then either the listing realtor shows up. If you're on Homes.com, it's only the listing realtor that shows up for the properties that match their needs, or Zillow, Realtor.com, etc. There'll be a banner of agents that the consumer could choose from as to which agent they would like to contact and work with.
So nobody goes, hey, I heard you on the radio, thought I'd give you a call.
Interestingly, I think I messaged you that the other day. I had a woman from Palm Coast say, hey, I heard you on the radio, and I love your voice, and you sound so perky that I'm going to go out there on Tuesday and take a look at her house.
All right.
Oh, that's sweet.
Well,
you know the answer to that question
wonderful.
when you asked it, David?
Oh, yeah, I did.
Okay,
I was
just
gonna,
curious.
But anyway.
Well, people work with and people buy from people they like.
Yeah.
That is the bottom line of business.
Yeah, that's true.
It is a relationship business.
Absolutely.
It's all about building relationships.
So I just want to say that I listen to WNZF all the time, and if I wasn't a realtor, like Memories commercial comes up and it sits in my head. So like it's very.
As soon as he said from lighthouse to lighthouse, we're all like, the mystery's been solved.
We knew who it was because that's. I mean, I think you were president too when I first became a realtor in FCAR. You were one of the first presidents.
Yeah.
So
I was president of FCAR in 2017.
Yes.
All right. So somebody's from Long Island and they're thinking about, well, Boca Raton, somewhere on the east coast of Florida. They've decided Atlantic Ocean, Florida. Do you have to convince them that this is a better place to go than Miami, Fort Lauderdale? What's the conversation like?
More often, I get folks that kind of target St. Augustine, and sometimes that doesn't fit their price point. And I move them up and down the highway from Palm Coast to Ormond Beach to Port Orange. And sometimes people get here and are moving around. There's people that have called me and said, hey, I'm in Palm Coast, but now that I'm here, I think I'd really like to look at Ormond Beach or Port Orange. So that's really why I developed this big market, because when people come to Florida, they come to Florida. They don't necessarily know locations. As far as Northeast Florida over South Florida, we're a little cooler, a little more temperate climate, a few less hurricanes, and that draws people here as well.
Okay. I mean, but still, despite hurricanes and flooding and disasters and all that, they still want to be on the water, right?
They want to be in Florida. You know, we still have 1,100 net people a day moving to Florida. Our weather, our sunshine, our economy, our big metro areas have good jobs. So it's not just old people moving here. We have families. Our schools are good. There's just many, many positives for reasons that people are now really looking to Florida for their move.
So Flagler County, of course, we have Flagler County home builders here. We have Flagler County realtors here. We've got we have the Palm Coast newspaper here, Flagler Broadcasting here. Like, we don't want you to sell people things in Ormond Beach and St. Augustine. So how do you, what's the downside? They go, well, I like Palm Coast, but I'm not going to go there because what? What's the downside of Flagler County?
The only downside that I ever do hear about, and I've lived here for 15 years, moved to St. Augustine in 2020 when my son was on baby number 3 and needed to go be a little bit closer. But the only downside I ever really hear is there's not a lot to do as far as entertainment, nightlife, etc. Palm Coast, that's really not the place. You know, you go to St. Augustine, you go to Daytona Beach if you want that nightlife more type of entertainment. But if you're a family, if you're retired, if you like the ambiance of Palm Coast, it's a beautiful city. That draws people here.
It's kind of interesting because I think some people would hear that and say, well, how do we get that nightlife? But maybe it's okay. Like we're a different option. And, I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I wonder.
Well, that's what I think that's what I'm saying. If you don't want that, then Palm Coast is a great place.
I mean, I'm like I think I'm the resident, like, young millennial mom of 3, and I also was raised here, so I've seen it grow, and when people say we have nothing, I'm like, you hold on a second. We have a lot more.
We used to have nothing.
We have a Target, and I can list all the things. We have a super Walmart now instead of a regular Walmart, and I can list all the things. And like, you want to have a history lesson when the Little Champ was here. But I think that as, being in that millennial group and having young kids, I think there is room still for a little bit of a nightlife, like a higher end.
And what is nightlife? Because like when I was in, my college days, nightlife was a lot different.
No, I
than
don't.
It is now.
Listen,
have
if
a
the
movie
floor's
theater
sticky,
now, so.
if the floor's sticky, I'm not going in. That's where I draw my line personally. But I like having Margaritaville, I think, is a nice start. But also, I like places like Brown Dog, which is like a locally owned business, something like that. Just a place where you can go out and grab drinks and some appetizers and places with your friends. So just if there was like a
hip hop dancing all night, are you, Annamaria?
No, but if there was like a 5 o'clock 90s party, I'd be there
At 5 o'clock.
Heartbeat.
Okay.
5 o'clock.
All right.
I'm there.
All right. Well, I mean, because people say nightlife, it means different things to different people. And some people, they say they want all this stuff, and then they never do it anyway. They sit at home on the couch.
It's the same thing with they want kids places. They want to have places to bring their kids, and then some
if
of
it's
those
free.
Yeah.
Yes, and all those places that have been open are open during business hours, and then they're closed because no one actually goes to them because they don't want to pay for them. And the hours are not great that they've been open.
And even the nightlife. I mean, Christy B's has a comedy club here.
Yeah,
and,
right.
she was wavering on, she keeping it open, and she's opening her Daytona one. And, I mean, you want a nightlife. It's the same thing with
You have
anything
to
that
utilize
everybody
whatever it
wants
is.
things. But like Brian said, nobody wants to pay for things.
Just
I want an Italian deli. But then when they see the super sot cost $15.99 a pound, they don't want to pay the $15.99 a pound.
Yes.
Just like bookstores. I want more bookstores. When's the last time you bought a book?
I think in
touched
lieu of
one.
the nightlife, the things that Palm Coast and Flagler County don't have, which are very attractive, are all the hiking and biking trails, the kayaking, the water sports. It's a lot of recreation, and I think that people opt for that.
Mm-hmm. And we have good restaurants
what we
now.
might call a nightlife.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why we moved here, me and my family. We looked at everything around the area. I moved from Port Orange to Palm Coast, and Port Orange was getting a little bit too crazy for my liking. I just needed a Target, and I was happy. I needed somewhere for my kids to go and play outside, and have a good time. So the recreation was a big thing. Yeah.
Hey, another question, then we're going to give you a final comment and let you go. But what if you would say, what is the average age of out-of-state people wanting to move here? You said it's younger. It's not just retirees now. Pick a number. What do you think would be a gut guess here? What's a average age of a new home buyer coming to Flagler County?
Well, I don't know, like Flagler County specific.
Okay, well, you're
at
lighthouse to lighthouse.
We probably have a 50-50 of retirees versus younger families coming with jobs. So younger families coming with jobs, probably mid-30s to mid-40s in age with younger children. And you probably all know St. Johns County schools, number one in the state, have been for the last 12, 15 years. So there's a huge draw for the younger families with children to get into St. Johns County schools. Flagler County schools are also very good, so there's a draw for that and the family life that you all just talked about. And then we do have the retirees, which start mid-50s, actually, looking here. I just sold a brand-new construction in Entrada to people from Wisconsin who are going to use it as a second home for now, but plan to retire here fully in 2 to 3 years. So they're early 60s in age.
Okay. All right. Well, anything you want to say before we cut you loose here, Memory Hopkins?
No, I just appreciate the Flagler Broadcasting. I appreciate you, David, for helping me with that commercial because it's been really a big plus for me. And I don't want people to forget that I do a lot of business still in Palm Coast, lived here for 15 years, and I'm very involved with local charities. I'm involved also with the St. Augustine Lions Seafood Festival, which will be March 21st and 22nd of 2026. Put that in your calendar. And I'm very involved with Christmas Come True, and I help shop for the kids at Christmas time. So I'm still your local realtor with a longer reach.
Okay. From lighthouse to lighthouse. Memory Hopkins, thanks a lot. We appreciate you, okay?
Thanks, David. Bye.
All right. Okay, we're going to take a break, and we'll be back. We're going to talk about a few other things here. And, and the Parkside Realty, Sam Perkovich. She was our first realtor sponsor 15 years ago. And anyway, so we thank her and Parkside Realty and everything too. We've got some good community involved people in Flagler County in the real estate business. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back. We're live with studio cameras. You can see Brian McMillan waved everybody. Brian, there we go. Annamaria Long waved everybody. Pastor Charles Silano just dropped in here on us, and also we have Eddie Lang with Serenity Realty and a real estate activist and running for vice president and all that, and we'll find out just how popular you are in the real estate business. Want to know? Maybe we should do live coverage.
A lot of pressure on this.
Find out. We'll do live coverage of the FCAR elections, maybe, and Michelle McKinney. So good to have you in here on that. So we're talking about real estate and things. And Charles, I brought, Charles, we're going to talk a little about the Foodathon event you have coming up and everything. But people don't know that they think of you with the food bank, the Grace Community Food Pantry. Mm-hmm. But you also have
Open Door Recovery.
Open Door Recovery, mm-hmm. which is integrated with Big John's Appliances. So
that's true.
Okay, so explain how that works, and then I want to talk about your new little maybe tiny home community you're working on. So go ahead and talk about the Open Door Recovery and Big John's Appliances.
Okay, so Open Door Recovery is going into its 14th year. It's residential recovery, and we've been very successful. And what we did was we had an opportunity to purchase a used appliance store about 9 years ago, and now it's mostly new appliances that we sell, and the business is meant to all the profits, the net profits are there for supporting the Open Door Recovery program. And they learn we hire people there from our program, so they earn a living, they learn a living, and as a matter of fact, one of them has his own repair business at this point, so it's good.
All right.
Yeah.
And but part of your Open Door Recovery plan, you say it's 100%. This is like drug addiction and all those any kind of an addiction. You know, that it's 100% effective if they follow the plan.
If they follow the program. I mean, I can't help you if you don't want it. And if you do what we ask you to do, how it's planned out, you will succeed. It's inevitable. We see that all the time.
So you house the people in your program, Open Door program, where mm-hmm. they have to live in. They're not influenced by either old buddies stopping by to do whatever. Right? So they're insulated by their own choice from outside forces that got them in trouble.
Right.
And so you have bought a piece of land in
mm-hmm.
Bunnell, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so tell us where it is and what you want to do on that piece of land.
Well, it's right here on Route 11. It's called Magnolia Crossings. It's about between the railroad tracks and Hawk Creek Road, going to the sheriff's office, right there in the middle. I don't have a number for you yet as far as an address, and it's 3.5 acres. We have we hire some engineers, and we can put up to 17 structures, tiny homes on there. The reason why we're going in this route, because recovery is great. If you go through a 9-month program like ours, it's great, but it's like getting a diploma and then putting you out on the street and you don't know what to do with it, what you've learned. So the transitional part of coming back into a community is very, very important in order for you to be successful. So we're offering a 2-year transition program for people that have to get back on their feet. Usually those that are active in addiction have burnt every bridge, broken every relationship, and lost everything that they had. So if you put them on the street, they're only going to fail again, even though they went through a program. They need financial assistance, financial responsibility, make amends with a lot of people in the community. And those are the things that those are the things that excite me, because we see that happening all the time. And I love our community. Our community actually is a community of second chances. So we have, as a matter of fact, I believe it's Klein Construction right now has just hired two of our guys. It's just wonderful. So they get back on their feet. They do what they're meant to be doing, and they're reunited with their families. So we're going to be, we have Allen Engineering Group is doing the design work. We have about a year before we can actually put a shovel in the ground, because we have to go through special exception. That's 3 months, and then environmental studies and St. John's water management. You guys know all this stuff, right? So it takes time, and so we'll be putting we want to share that at our gala this year, because it's very exciting. It's the first of its kind in Flagler County, and first of its kind perhaps in many. We include part of the state of Florida. It's a great concept, and it keeps people connected in the program. You just form family ties there. So a lot of people have the wrong concept of a person who's addicted to something. They think that he's automatically a criminal. They will commit criminal acts for sure, but a person who is seeking recovery is a different person altogether than the one I just described. So
Okay, so question here: do you realize who you're sitting next to right now? Over her?
No.
Okay, well, introduce yourself to Pastor Silano.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm Annamaria Long. I'm the executive officer at the Flagler Home Builders Association, and
wow.
that's why I'm furiously taking notes.
Oh, wow.
Well, here, let me say that when I told her you were coming in and what we were going to talk about, I go, yeah, he's going to build a little, like a tiny home village out there. He's looking at that. You're looking at different tiny homes because the cost you can't afford to build, really, because you can get more for your money by being like manufactured. Well, Annamaria Long about jumped out of her seat when I said that. What? Anyway.
I sent a text message already, but then I put my phone on airplane mode because it does crazy feedback in here. But that's why I'm furiously taking notes next to you, not to be totally sketchy, but I want to make sure I have as much information as I can to take back. So
great.
We'll exchange information. And
so you would be open-minded for the Flagler home builders to come forth and say, hey, we want a chance to actually build these instead of buying prefab ones if we can meet a price point?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, we're open to that. We haven't made up our minds yet, whatever's most feasible and, built to code here in Florida. Sure, absolutely. We love that. As a matter of fact, the Home Builders Association years ago, maybe 15 years ago, was very critical player in us building the well house out there in the Mondex.
Yes, we have a few members who are still around doing
all the materials. I mean, this is great community effort.
And we're going to be hitting you up for the food-a-thon to help us out here. Also, Realtors, we're going to be hitting you up. We're having our food-a-thon, $1 million food-a-thon, so you can help.
I'll come back and call my people.
Yeah, okay. All right. Anyway, so we'll have you on. All right. Okay, so let's plug. We got time here. We got to move on to your last year you had Daryl Strawberry.
Yeah.
Big big star, super guy, went to so this year you have another one coming up where people can come to Hammock Beach Resort for a nice dinner. And so go ahead and tell us about it.
Yes, it's October the 12th. Starts at 5:30. Usually goes till about 8. And we have Daryl Strawberry's manager and his wife coming. Daryl Strawberry's manager, John Lupo, has a ministry now. He used to have a $50 million business on Wall Street, lost everything due to addiction. It was Daryl Strawberry that pulled him out of it. And so he became his manager. And so he can tell you a lot about what his life was like due to addiction. And his wife, Chris, actually used to work for Trinity Broadcasting Network for 20 years. She's never used a drug in her life, but lost a brother to addiction. So that's another perspective that you get to hear, what addiction does to families that don't understand addiction. And everybody's, a lot of people are affected by that. So we're looking forward to a great time. He's very engaging, very straightforward, very funny guy.
All right. Well, and we don't have time for your story, but as you always start off with, Pastor Silano in his earlier years was a very bad boy in New York. Right?
True. True. Actually, all over.
So that'll be another show.
Yeah.
We get going on that one. All right. Well, cool. I thought that was, pretty good. So I wanted to promote that. Our Foodathon is coming. We moved it closer to fourth quarter. Well, it's in fourth quarter because we did it in the heat of the summer the last few years, but we're moving it when more people are here. And also, a lot of people, they have taxes due.
Fourth quarter is a smart time.
Fourth quarter, and they've got to, you got to give your money to somebody or give it to Uncle Sam. So we're hoping we can win the hearts and minds of some of the local people that are in a position that need to donate for tax reasons in 2025. So that's the method to our madness there. All right. Okay, well, here, I want to wrap up here. Okay, Michelle, let me ask you this. A lot of people are moving down here just like you. You were, kind of in the military with your husband, and then they decided to become a realtor. There's a lot of people that they've maybe, retired or given up their job or lost their job up north, and they're coming to Florida and thinking, maybe I'd want to be a realtor in Florida. How hard is it to become a realtor?
You just have to have enough funds to be able to pay for all the classes. Have time to dedicate to.
Is it like a college degree? I mean, how do you?
In my opinion, am I allowed to state my opinion? In my opinion, I feel like it should be like a college degree because this is the largest investment anyone is going to be making in their entire lifetime.
And very complicated.
Very complicated. I feel like it should be a lot more difficult to get your real estate license than it is, but it's fairly easy in my opinion.
So
63 hours.
63 hours.
And a 2 test.
Wow. Okay. Well, in a way, because it'd be like, hey, my cousin Eddie just got his real estate license, and we're going to be selling our house, so we'll let Eddie handle it, which is not a good way to go. Right?
If he has if he has someone helping him as a new agent who is going to be taking them under, their wing, I think going with a new agent is okay as long as they have someone that is helping them along the way.
So,
and that's
so
really
vet
important.
Your agent
vet your
and
agent.
Make sure if they are new that they have a partner or a broker that's supporting them.
So you want to ask, you want to qualify whether it be Eddie or Memory or anybody else out there to it. It's not, you really want them to show you the experience they have and why they would be you're basically hiring somebody for a lot of money. Right?
Exactly. I mean, it's something where you'll want to ask them questions about, like how many homes have you sold? How long have you been doing this? And if they are new, I'm not saying don't discount the new people because a lot of them are hungry and they're ready to go and they have that hustle and that fire in their eyes that maybe some of the realtors that have been doing this for a little while, they're a little jaded. So some of the newer folks are good, but ask those questions. And if they don't have the experience personally, say, do you have that experience behind you somewhere?
Of would you say 1,600 realtors in Flagler County? But a lot of them, they're not really active, right?
No.
I mean,
Correct.
they just have a license.
How many are active, you think, out of the 1,600?
How many get up every morning and try to, make
20%?
Yeah.
Think so?
Oh, okay.
Ish.
Because there's a lot more homes. There's a lot more realtors than there are homes for sale, which is kind of interesting.
Well, what is the national average for how many people actually sold a home last year? Was it like most realtors only sold like one home, or one to four?
Actually, a lot of them sold 0 last year.
Yeah.
I mean, but it was like one home. Last year was a tough year for a lot of realtors.
It was.
All right.
But if you sold, I mean, I don't know what I sold, but if you sold more than 5, you were
doing good.
successful.
Yeah.
But some people just keep their license to either have it or to have access to the MLS, to be nosy, or just
referral
to
status,
be able to sell if they want to. Like you said, only 20%, and I feel like that might be a little high.
We definitely don't have active
and
1,600 members.
No.
Totally active.
and that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
But
It's
just
okay for me. Yeah, it's great.
right. But for perspective on the number of houses versus realtors.
Yeah.
Change it to 20% of the 1,600, and we're actually in a pretty good situation.
Okay. All right. Well, very good. Well, we're out of time. Good discussion. Michelle, good having you on the program today with the FCAR. And you guys do a lot of good things for the community. And, you've got a great building over there, too. A lot of people go by it.
Beautiful.
They think it's like some secret CIA building.
Maybe it is. No, I'm kidding.
But you rent out the... because you own it, right? FCAR owns the building.
FCAR owns the building, yes, sir.
And it's great. The kitchen and for events, it's up for rent. People can rent it for their clubs and things.
Well, that is up for discussion. There has been no thoughts settled on that, but we do allow folks to come in. Like we do work with the Home Builders Association often. They hold a lot of their meetings
we're reciprocal
with us.
members. The FCAR is a member of the HBA, and we're business partners with FCAR. So.
And all of our members can come in and utilize the space. We've got a member lounge. So
right. Okay, well, scratch that. If you're planning a wedding, don't call FCAR.
Do not call FCAR.
Not yet.
Okay. All right. Any other final comments, Michelle?
I'm just very thankful for inviting me to come and be on the show today. It's really exciting.
All right. Well, good to have you. We'll be in
And don't
touch.
be a stranger, everyone, to FCAR. You see the beautiful building. It's not a super secret. Walk in, find out what we're all about, because we're here for our community.
Okay.
We love our community. We want you guys to come in and say
Very good. Eddie Lang.
That's me.
All right.
I appreciate you guys having me on. Like I said, when you talked about the interviews, you have to interview your agent. You're interviewing your agent to see if you want to work with them, because that's what it's all about. You're going to work with somebody that you're comfortable with, and it's a people business, and it's relationships. And a lot of my people that I still have relationships with, and we become good friends. And, because they're community members now, we're all a part of this community.
All right.
So
very good. All right. And Annamaria Long with the Home Builders Association. Final words of wisdom from you.
Thanks for having me. I feel like I've lived here for the past 2 days because I was here yesterday afternoon and I walked in this morning. Always a pleasure to be on. And
don't forget to listen this weekend.
Yeah, listen for Saturday at 11 a.m. And check out the map. Check out gotoby.com. I think it's the top, maybe the first or second posting right now, gotoby.com for that interactive map.
And you're going to talk about that.
Yeah,
we're
going to talk more about it on the show, and you can go on there right now on that website and click on it and play around with it and learn all the things. Grand Landings was going to be a fly-in.
Like gotoby.com, there it is. Give a little love for Toby. I know he's listening.
He is.
Yeah.
Well, he should be. I reminded him to.
Okay. All right. Pastor Charles Silano, final words.
Always good to be here, and thank you for having me. And I'm just happy to meet everybody here.
All right. Great. All right. And Brian McMillan, Palm Coast Observer.
Yeah, just like a lot of people, like the assassination has been on my mind a lot. Charlie Kirk, but also, and then 9/11. And I just want to say thanks to Lacey Martin, who made the event at Hammock Beach happen. I think that's really powerful for a lot of people. I was able to stop by the Elks Lodge. They do a memorial every year, a couple hundred people there. And so, the crowd stands, the bagpipes are just blaring, and everyone's singing God Bless America. It's a great moment, and I just think, we can, there's just so much angst about everything going on right now that I think if we focus on those moments, I think that we're going to be okay. So,
all right. And keep talking, keep listening. That's why we have Pierre on, whether you like him or not. Yes, he's staying. And I think it's good to hear everybody's viewpoints. And, when people honestly talk about how they feel and why they think, Charlie Kirk was a great listener. And that's what made him a good speaker. And it's the kind of debate we need, right,
He's
Charles?
a great young man. We're going to miss him.
All right,
I thought the world of him.
Take care. Be nice.